Motivation fact present. 15 ways intelligent people deal with difficult and toxic people. Dealing with difficult and toxic people can be a major source of stress and negativity in our lives. They can cause unnecessary drama, drive down morale, and negatively impact our emotional well-being. It can be tempting to give these people the same treatment they give to others, but this never works. They aren't capable of much self-reflection, and turnabout only makes them see themselves as victims. The best way to deal with difficult people is to use the following techniques, commonly practiced by intelligent people. Set limits. Complainers and negative people are bad news. They want others to join in on their problems so they can feel better about themselves. But lending a sympathetic ear can lead to getting sucked into their negative emotional spiral. Avoid this by setting limits and distancing yourself when necessary. Establish boundaries. You have more control than you think. Once you've found your way to rise above a person, you'll begin to find their behavior more predictable and easier to understand. This will equip you to think rationally about when and where you have to put up with them, and when you don't. If you set boundaries and decide when and where you'll engage a difficult person, you can control much of the chaos. Ignore. In some cases, you can only ignore toxic people when you are in public, because in public, they tend to hide aggressive retaliation. If you've been submissive to the toxic person for a long time and you find yourself alone with them, ignoring them will not work. Toxic people crave attention all the time, so make sure there are plenty of other people around. Don't share secrets with gossipers. Toxic people will share deep secrets with others just to seem momentarily interesting, and they will frequently judge or gossip about people behind their backs. If you meet somebody who does this, don't be fooled into thinking that they are gossiping with you because they like you or trust you. They will just as easily betray your trust. Recognize and ignore insults. Toxic people love to insult others, and they do this in a subtle way. They will attempt to disguise insults with compliments. Although these may sound like kind statements, they are dropping little seeds of doubt in your mind by putting conditions on your capabilities. Learn to hear the truths behind the veil of compliments and then ignore them. Allow liars to trip themselves up. Toxic people will often lie compulsively, not just to others, but to themselves. They will often perform mental gymnastics to convince themselves that their lies are reality. Keeping track of a bunch of made-up stories is difficult, and liars end up exposing themselves over time by contradicting themselves with other lies. Don't fall prey to pity. Toxic people use pity as another form of manipulation. They even make their victims feel bad for finally standing up for themselves. Intelligent people are able to recognize self-pity and the unique way that it's used by toxic people. Avoiding self-pitying people and refusing to justify their apathy will stop you from being sucked into their world of self-perpetuating failure. Stand up to bullies. While it can be scary to stand up to bullies, it's the only way to get them to stop. They thrive on power and control, and the only way to take that away from them is to stand up to them. Don't let them intimidate you or make you feel small. You have the power to stand up for yourself and others. Stay calm and rational. Toxic people thrive on drama and chaos. They want to push your buttons and get a reaction out of you. But if you stay calm and rational, they won't. Number 9. Use humor to defuse tension. Humor is a powerful tool that can help diffuse tense situations and disarm difficult people. Intelligent people often use humor to lighten the mood and help break down barriers between themselves and toxic individuals. Of course, it's important to use humor appropriately and not to make fun of or belittle the other person. But a well-timed joke or a light-hearted comment can help shift the focus away from negativity and towards positivity and collaboration. Number 10. Practice empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another person. It can be difficult to practice empathy with difficult and toxic people, but it's important to try. By putting ourselves in their shoes and trying to understand their perspective, we can often gain a better understanding of their behavior and motivations. This can help us communicate more effectively with them and find common ground. Number 11, don't take things personally. Difficult and toxic people often say hurtful things or act in ways that are designed to push our buttons. But it's important not to take these things personally. Remember that their behavior is a reflection of their own issues and insecurities, not a reflection of our worth as individuals. By not taking things personally, we can maintain our own emotional well-being and avoid getting drawn into their drama. Number 12, practice self-care. Dealing with difficult and toxic people can be emotionally draining and stressful. That's why it's important to practice self-care and take care of our own emotional well-being. This may involve setting boundaries, taking time for ourselves, and engaging in activities that help us relax and recharge. By taking care of ourselves, we can better handle difficult situations and maintain our emotional resilience. Number 13, seek support. Dealing with difficult and toxic people can be challenging, and it's important to seek support when we need it. This may involve talking to a trusted friend or family member, seeking the advice of a therapist or counselor, or finding a support group for people dealing with similar issues. By seeking support, we can gain valuable insights and strategies for dealing with difficult people and maintaining our emotional well-being. Number 14, practice forgiveness. Forgiveness is not about excusing the other person's behavior, but about releasing ourselves from the negative emotions and resentments that can build up when we hold on to anger and hurt. It can be difficult to forgive difficult and toxic people, but it's important to try. By practicing forgiveness, we can let go of negative emotions and move on with our lives in a positive and productive way. Number 15, know when to walk away. Finally, it's important to know when to walk away from a difficult or toxic person. Sometimes, despite our best efforts, we may not be able to find common ground or resolve the issues between us. In these situations, it's important to recognize that we can't control the other person's behavior and to prioritize our own emotional well-being by walking away. By knowing when to walk away, we can avoid getting drawn into their drama and maintain our own emotional resilience. In conclusion, dealing with difficult and toxic people can be challenging, but it's important to remember that we can't control their behavior. By using the techniques outlined above and prioritizing our own emotional well-being, we can maintain our resilience and navigate challenging situations with intelligence and grace.